Now, another one. Carmen Bryan, who claimed she had a 9-year affair with Jay-Z and became pregnant by him before miscarrying, takes to Instagram to share Jay-Z's lyrics from Kanye's Monster. Kill a block, I murder the avenues, I rape and pillage a village, women and children. Everybody want to know what my Achilles heel is. Love. I don't get enough of it. All I get is you vampires and bloodsuckers. I'm sorry, y'all. I love that song. Monster. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely in the lyrics, okay? It's definitely in the song. These days, people don't defend what is right; they defend who they like, and that's why we call you a groupie. And I will never be that. I am a fan, but I am not a groupie. I remember when Sean had a fade, and again, Sean was a menace when he was wearing a fade. I did not like Jay-Z when he had a fade. I didn't. And you know what else, y'all? Before we move off of Jay-Z, and it's something that I clocked during Andrea Kelly's interview, but we didn't talk about. During Andrea Kelly's interview, she mentioned Beyonce doing her little, thing. And she was like, I felt like that was like a hey girl, I see you moment from Beyonce to Andrea Kelly. And she was like, yeah, we have a lot in common. Robert and both of our husbands did a tour together. Everybody remembers, the Best of Both Worlds tour and the album and all of that with Jay-Z and R. Kelly back in the 2000s. And I'm going to just tell y'all like this. The story is that tour happened. I don't know why people think the tour didn't happen. That tour happened. They were absolutely on tour. They just weren't on tour for a long time before it all ended. And I'm not exactly sure why the tour ended, but word on a curb is that R. Kelly is doing shit backstage with kids, like young people backstage. And Jay-Z is like, I don't know what the fuck going on here, but I can't work with this nigga. Okay? And from what I understood, like Jay-Z was the one that was like, I'm not about the, yes, I thought Jay-Z left that tour because of younger. Exactly. That's what I heard. I heard it was because R. Kelly didn't know how to handle his shit. And I said the same thing about Diddy. I think that Jay-Z is cool being around these people when they know how to handle their shit. Meaning don't be doing that shit in a way that could get us caught up. Diddy has now started tweaking. I don't know if y'all see it, but like he backed up off Diddy a minute ago and they haven't been hanging or, been mentioning each other the way they used to. They're not as close as they used to be. And I feel like that's because as soon as everybody starts to show they slip to the public in some type of way, anything that Jay-Z feels like you're doing too much, you're showing too much to the public, he will back away from your ass. Okay. And I really do think, yeah, they whooped R. Kelly's ass backstage. Yeah. Same with Kanye. He backed off him too. Exactly. So I definitely feel like there's something to be said about both sides. Jay-Z being somewhat of a friend to niggas we know do shit like this, being in cahoots with niggas we know do shit like this. Okay, because y'all keep acting like Diddy ain't do shit, and I'm not doing that with y'all. With Jay-Z, I can still kind of feel like we'll see. Diddy, I'm sorry, hang it up, flat screen. Okay, hang it up. He kicked that girl in the back of the head. We've been hearing stories about him taking advantage of people for years. We've heard stories about Jay-Z too. We've seen shit about Jay-Z too, but it's not on the same level as Diddy. Beyonce really saved that nigga life, to be very clear. Him being married, getting into the spiritual shit, growing up, like him actually maturing as a man, I think is what has saved him recently. Diddy did not do those same things. They still want to be young. They still want to be a party boy. They don't see the value in sitting the fuck down. Okay? And that's why they end up in these situations. Because think about it. If Diddy had chilled the fuck out a while ago, meaning like stop beating up on people, stop doing all of these drugs and shit with the pink cocaine and all that allegedly, stop with the having all of these smex parties where Chris Brown and Trey Songz are getting accused of shit. Like the block had been hot for a minute and it was like nobody cared, or they thought they wasn't going to ever really get in any trouble for the shit, so they just was like going as usual and kind of escalating. Like the fact that Christian even had his son, even had Diddy's son, has a case assaulting a woman that was working on the yacht. Like, they're out of control. They're out of control. The boys, after the fact, getting into it with Ray J. Everybody's out of control. And as soon as everybody starts showing their slip, I think that's when Jay-Z be like, all right, I'm out. All right, I'm out. No, consent is not possible with children. I think somebody was being facetious. And yes, Jay-Z did have relationships with teenage girls, i.e. Foxy Brown, even though she came out and said they lied about her age. Yeah, girl, I don't know. To me, it seemed like Jay-Z used to like young ass girls. Beyonce was young. Again, not 13 young, but definitely if I'm 26, she can be 17, 16, like it's given that. Again, that was something that was a little bit more accepted in the 90s. And I've said that before when we were talking about the R. Kelly thing. Like, our realization now about how fucked up things were then is just different now. Now we understand it in a way we didn't back then, because it was like presumed to be a good thing if some old nigga was coming pick you up from school in a car. Like, I remember, like, bitch, I'm old enough. I'm 36. I am old enough to remember having older boyfriends and feeling like that's what I was supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, it was good. It showed that I was either mature or more attractive because I was able to have older boyfriends. So yeah, it was considered cool. So, and I'm just saying this because, like, girl, by the time I really got in high school, done deal. But I did have a 16-year-old boyfriend when I was like 12. Okay. So there's that. We ain't do nothing. It's my little boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? We might have made out, but that was it. You know what I'm saying? When nobody having sex. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like, times have changed and all of that type of shit. But essentially, you still were who you were. But gangbanging a 13-year-old son, that's rough. So we gonna hope you didn't do that. We gonna hope this one of them times that y'all not telling the truth about this man. But again, there's a lot of evidence either way. There's a lot of evidence either way, y'all. So I don't know. Moving on.